Dune Spice Wars is a 4X RTS with diverse factions with diverse units vying for control over planet Arrakis. But I play the whole game with only the lowest tier unit. What could possibly go wrong? So I'm picking the Freeman? Yeah, I'm sure it's Fremen. These guys get an advantage to spice production. And as we all know, spice is money, power, and everything in Dune. I'm going with normal difficulty. I'm just going to be building these warrior units for my military. That's it, I'm just going to be spamming them out here. Now, just a disclaimer, this game isn't StarCraft, so it's got a trappings of a 4X with little sprinkles of RTS. It wants you to have a more combined arms approach, but we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure if this will end well. The ornithopters are off, revealing the region around my starting region. They are essentially scouts in the game. You could just leave them on auto explore and they just do the job. Right, spice fields, this is what we are looking for. Regions with these are super precious and will be key to wealth in Arrakis. Okay, first village in the back. I'm not going to be starting wars with other main factions, but this isn't a pacifist run, since in this game you'll need to take over villages in the regions to actually take control of the region itself. One cool thing with the Fremen, you don't need to actually control a region to send your spice dudes to set up camp and harvest it. Which means in theory I could grab all those spice fields before my competitors get to it. So you can't go around annexing villages in this game willy-nilly. There's this thing called authority which you accrue over time. You'll need a certain amount to annex a village. The further they are from your main base, the more authority you'll need. It's a simple solution to stopping any faction from steamrolling the whole map too fast. In terms of research, I'll be focusing on this gold colored quadrant over here, which primarily is focused on gold production, or in Dune it's called Solari. I'm going to be amassing as much wealth as I can to purchase shares in the Chom market, or Chom, however that's pronounced, and win the game through what is essentially the economic victory. I'll need to own 50% of the shares to win. There are these points of interest around the map which you can choose to resolve and gain a little bonus. What I don't like about them is how they've been handled in this game with zero story injected to them. Totally wasted opportunity. Okay, so the Landstrat Council here gives you policies that you vote from time to time. Some of these give a bonus while others actually hurt you. So you could impair your competitors this way. This will be important in the future, mark my words. As Fremen, we are sort of pariahs in this game, so we don't really have much influence points in the beginning. But this will improve over time as we build up our economy and research. So it's going to play an important part in our master plan for economic domination. Okay, so the Chom markets are open and maybe I'm just a tad bit late here. You can see that the pesky goody two-shoes house Atreides has already purchased some shares. That may seem like a small deal now, but this small early head start for them will have a compounding interest for them in the future. So, okay, I'm not just researching the economic quadrant in the research part of this game. I will also need to improve my military so that I have a chance to defend myself against the other factions. Okay, first visible look at my neighbors. It looks like the smugglers have set up shop on the western front of my borders. And the Harkonnen are on the north side. I'll be expecting lots of attacks coming from this direction. By the way, Harkonnen, for those unfamiliar with the Dune universe, are the militaristic authoritarian faction. Alright, I've bought enough shares to get ahead of Atreides, at least for now. There's also this Space Guild thing which you need to bribe them. Your next payment in spice, by the way, will be every 25 days. And the amount increases every single time. So you just can't turtle in this game. You will need to expand to be able to afford this payment. We are making some good progress down the hegemony victory condition too. This is an expansion victory condition, so I'll need to grab as many regions to get this up. If the economic route doesn't work out, I think I'll need to change my focus to this. So while I'm just training warriors, there's still some room to improve them. Once I've unlocked the armory with the research, I can purchase an upgrade. But these aren't straight up improvements and will oftentimes carry a little drawback to them. So I went with more power and little less health since I'll make up for it with more numbers. The agent screen. Now, this is one section that I felt should have received a little more time in the oven. You get agents over time and you just place them here to different duties which will earn you some bonus related to that specific thing you told them to do. There's also operations which you can do to negatively affect your enemies, but I'm not going to be touching them since I'm not really interested in starting any wars. Oh, what do we have here? A group of friendly Harkonnen troops having a nice sightseeing tour at my border. Oh wait, they're attacking. Bring the troops back! Defend! Okay, so this isn't going so well. When it comes to facing off a more balanced force, my small number of warriors, they just can't stand toe to toe with them. Let's replenish all my lost warriors. Okay, you know what? I know it's a long shot. Let me see if we can get a deal here. How about a truce? What? You've got to be kidding me, right? The Harkonnen had the upper hand there and they would have conquered my region. Oh, hell no. I'm going to be exploiting the hell out of this. So I can stop basically any faction attacking me as long as I have enough influence points. I can offer up a truce. This just seems wrong. It doesn't seem logical. Look at those guys leaving. Thanks for visiting. Don't come again here anytime soon. A storm is brewing. These sandstorms can damage your units, but you can shield them from it by moving them around the vicinity of your villages. Oh, okay, so now the smugglers want a piece of me? Well, come and get me. Wow, really? Fighting inside a sandstorm? Oh, this is something. And again, my units just can't go up against theirs and I'm clearly defeated here. But yeah, I've got an ace up my sleeve. Say, would you like a truce? Of course you would. Oh dear, Atreides have the lead again in the stock exchange game. Perhaps it's time to rethink my game plan. Okay, what I could do is to sell my resources that I'm clearly not using to the other factions. Maybe Atreides might want some plasteel, no? Okay, what about the smugglers? That's it. Here's your intel, and I'll have that sweet, sweet Solari. Both these factions seem to have more Solari than me, and Atreides is able to get ahead of me and still have lots to spare. I think I've got to be a little bit more aggressive with my approach. House Atreides has expanded quite a bit, and they've got a good amount of spice fields. Harkonnen try to make a move on them, but they just aren't as strong as them. Ah, this is what I was looking for, the perfect opportunity I've been waiting for. I could vote to have Atreides investigated for what I can only think of as market manipulation. That would reduce the shares they own down to by 20%, which would hopefully give me the opportunity to buy and get ahead, or at least stop them from winning for now. Also take note on the Dune governorship vote. That's another victory condition. Any faction that gets voted for the Dune governorship and holds that position for 30 days wins the game. This is going to be tricky. Alright, so okay, I know, I said this earlier, I wasn't going to start any wars, but you know what? Extraordinary circumstances call for extraordinary measures. If I can hit the Atreides spice harvesting region, I could probably make a dent in the economy. Okay, now for the moment of truth. So the Fremen have the nifty little ability of worm riding, so I could avoid the whole problem of attrition for the most part and get straight to my target. So attacking them is going to cause some repercussions. On hindsight, this is going to impact my economy too, but maybe just for a short while. Anyway, let's do it. Oh no, I messed this one up. I could defeat the defending units, but I couldn't capture the village. I don't have enough authority. Maybe I'll attack the harvester. No, that really didn't go well for me. I lost some units there due to attrition and barely made a dent on them. Time to regroup and replenish. Atreides are still really close to the economic victory, but wait, just after that failed attack, a glimmer of hope. They just got voted to be investigated and are now down to 42% share ownership. Yes! So now I've got to deal with attacks from all three factions. Still not in a good spot. Perhaps I shall bring out my irresistible truce card. Ask and you shall receive. With the smugglers and Atreides not at war, I have only one front to keep an eye on, the one bordering Harkonnen. Yes, I was rather surprised that the Atreides was so forgiving when just a few days back I declared war on them. Or maybe I shouldn't be so surprised, and that's just how the AI works in the game. The Atreides and Harkonnen keep continuing their never-ending useless war with no end. Like, that's just happening and it doesn't make any dent on either one of them. But Atreides also has another victory condition up their sleeves. They've been voted as governors, but not for long. There's going to be another vote for the Dune governorship, and this time I'm going to vote for the smugglers, so Atreides won't get to 30 days. The economic victory seems like a far-fetched idea now. My only hope is to push for a hegemony victory. I have my eyes set on my final region here, but those pesky smugglers still aren't giving up. They're making a futile attempt on my southern border. Okay, so this is it, the final push for victory. And what do you know? I actually won. Well, I didn't expect to win in my first how not to play video series, to be honest with you, but this highlights a problem with Dune Spice Wars. The most obvious one, the AI, it's a dud. It doesn't go aggressively on the player and throws little batches of units at you, and it doesn't seem to know its advantage when in negotiations with you. The simplistic AI just doesn't cut it if you consider this as a single player game. You'll totally get bored of this game. There are also lots of missed opportunities here, and even signs that maybe they didn't quite finish the game yet. It probably should have stayed in early access a little longer. I've seen stuff like one building sharing the same graphic as another one. The absolutely wasted agent screen, which is just a menu screen where you put people into squares to generate bonuses for you. Instead of, having agents like do actual work on the map, it just feels removed from the rest of the game, and they could have added so much more story into the game. I know it doesn't have a typical campaign, but for a universe that's so rich in lore, they could have done discoveries of artifacts and stuff on Arrakis way better. More like how Stellaris handles it by giving you a story arc to your discoveries, or maybe even missions. But no, Dune Spice Wars is a cold for multiplayer only game that you'll probably find fun to play with your buddies instead of the lackluster AI. It falters as a rich single player game by a mile. There are some good systems here and mechanics, but a lot of underdeveloped stuff that could have been given more personality and character that fit the Dune universe. So yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to be playing this much anymore, but you could give it a try out on PC Game Pass. You can find one of those $1 for the first month deals and play it with your friends and decide if you want to make this like a regular multiplayer thing with your crew. Anyway, if you like this new video format, give this video a like and smack that subscribe button. I highly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, bye!